A manager has to perform many symbolic functions as a figurehead of the organization. He has to sign various papers for the organization, attend social functions of the subordinates, greet people, speak at functions, etc. Okay, he performs both formal and informal roles also. As a formal authority, he performs various ceremonial duties, making speeches, bestowing honors, welcoming official visitors, okay, and distributing gifts to retiring employees. Uh, okay, and these are some of the examples like such ceremonials and social duties. All these are related to the formal authority. Okay, and coming to the informal authorities means um, they will attend to social functions like subordinates functions. They will greet the people, they will speak at that social functions, they will attend those social functions. Okay, so interpersonal relationship means as a figurehead role, as a father role. Okay, he plays. Next, coming to leadership role. Okay, manager is responsible for the activities of his subordinates because he acts as a leader of the group. So he is responsible for the activities that are done by the subordinates. He has to set the example of hard work and dedication, so that if he performs or if he is dedicative, means then the subordinates also follow his directions with due respect. Okay, and the most important role of the manager is to lead, guide, and motivate the subordinates. Why? Because in order to get the work done properly. Okay, he is responsible not only for his own acts but also for the subordinates acts also. Okay, and through his working behavior he should influence the subordinates. And coming to liaison officer role. Okay, liaison officer role means a manager has to maintain contact with higher management and subordinates, because it is related to the interpersonal relationship role. He should maintain the contact both with the top level management and at the same time the persons who are working under him, the subordinates. Similarly, he has to keep a watch on external environment, competitors' strength, government policies, etc. He has to maintain liaison by attending meetings, conferences, functions. Okay, all these are formal ones. So he acts or he serves as a connecting link. Okay, vertically with superiors and subordinates, and horizontally with other managers at the same level. Okay, horizontal means the same level. For example, production manager has a relation with the purchase manager. Okay, like that. Outside the organization, the managers have to undertake um, outside the organization means not within the organization, internal organization. Outside the organization, the managers has to perform certain liaison activities. He has to analyze the, or he has to assess the external environment in order to enable the organization. Okay, next, second one is um, information role. Okay, or else information processing. A manager receives, analyzes, and transmits information to various people. Okay, so uh, there are three important information roles that are performed by the manager. So, which are as follows. So, first one is monitoring information, disseminating information, and organization's spokesman. Okay, or role of a spokesperson. And coming to role of monitor or else monitoring information. A manager always collects information about his organization and the outside environment affecting his business. This information is collected through reports, periodicals, personal contacts, etc. So, monitor, as a monitor, the manager interacts and deals with insiders and outsiders. Okay, insiders in the sense the persons who are working within the organization. Outsiders means, for example, suppliers, customers, government officials. Okay, all this comes under the outsiders. So he has to perform the functions, or he has to interact, or he has to deal with all these persons within the environment and outside the environment. and he has to collect the information on various aspects. Okay, for example, like environment, through reports, informal relations, and liaising work. By this, he has to collect the data. He has to collect the information which is helpful for the organization's growth. Okay, while managing also, he monitors every situation very closely and minutely, and collects the information regarding it, and finally, if at all there is any problem, solves it effectively with the help of these insights. Next, coming to disseminating information. So he plays a disseminator role. The information is disseminated to those who need it, and the subordinates may be informed about um, the change in policies of other manner concerning the organization. He also meets the informational needs of other people in the organization. He may be done through circulars, letters, phone calls, or personal meetings. Here, disseminating information means spreading the information. Okay, spreading the information within the organization and outside the organization. Okay, within the organization means he has to disseminate the information regarding the plans and policies, regarding the procedures, regarding the strategies. Okay, all should be disseminated to the employees who are working under him. And in which form he will disseminate the information to the employees, to the lower level management means through circulars, through letters, through phone calls, or personal, even personal meetings. So he continuously transmits selected information which he has compiled through the role of monitor to his subordinates. And as I said before, he keeps on informing regarding any change in the process or structure, policies, plans, etc. Okay, and through formal and informal meetings, also through memorandums, orders, instructions, phones, circulars, letters, he will disseminate the information to the employees who are working under him. Okay, next, organization's spokesman or role of a spokesperson. A manager acts as spokesman of the entire enterprise while dealing with outsiders. Some information may be supplied to outsiders or make some demand from outsiders on behalf of the unit. This can be done through letters, telephone calls, or personal meetings. Means a manager acts as a spokesperson of his work group while supplying information to superiors. Okay, they will supply the information to the superiors, and he keeps outside parties well informed. Okay, on behalf of the organization. Means he will negotiates and enters into compromising nature, because as we said before, a manager should have a skills of negotiation also. Okay, so negotiation means uh, uh, getting a treaty or agreement. Okay, a compromising nature by doing negotiation, by bargaining. Okay, so here role of a spokesperson means will supply the information, he will get the information from outside parties also. Okay, and he will send that information, he will communicate that information to the superiors. Okay, which is helpful for the organization's growth. And coming to the third one, decision making role. Under decision making role, it is the primary function of a manager, and at the same time um, he interacts with the insiders and the outsiders under decision making roles. In all above roles also, I am continuously saying that he will uh, be in interaction with both the within the organization people and outside the organization people. Within the organization means the employers, the subordinates, the superiors. Okay, all levels of management. And coming to the outsiders means the customers, the suppliers, the government officials. Okay, bankers, all this comes under the external or outside people. So in decision making process, as a decision maker role, he will be in contact with all these persons. He will be interacting with both insiders and outsiders in order to get important information which he can use for taking decisions. Okay, and solving the problems. So information is the basic input for decision making for managers. Okay, so without information he cannot take any important decisions, or he may not solve the problems which are raised in the organizations. And under this decision making role, we may see three types: entrepreneur role, role of a disturbance or conflict handler, or role of a resource allocator. Okay, so first one, as an entrepreneur, he has to take strategic decisions such as sources of funds, arranging of various inputs, marketing strategies, etc. He decides about uh, he also decides about expansion or diversification. So entrepreneurial role means managers have a primary responsibility of improving the overall functions of the respective work units. So they have to act as entrepreneur, they have to take bold decisions, and they have to seek for better results from the subordinates. Okay, and so as an entrepreneur he should perform all the activities. He should initiate required changes, implement those changes in a better way in the organization. Okay, and he should initiate and implement changes. He should be dynamic, innovative, and creative. So an entrepreneur, as an entrepreneur, he should do all these things. Okay, and coming to as a conflict handler, or role of a disturbance or conflict handler, whenever there is a threat of any kind comes, means whether from within or outside the environment, the manager takes charge of the situation. Okay, and he meets the situation to the best of his efforts. A manager handles conflicts, complaints, and competitive actions. Okay, in this role, the manager has to work like a what to say, firefighter. Okay, so he should here the manager, as a conflict handler, he handles the conflicts, complaints. Okay, and take a competitive actions. So there may be conflicts among the employees or grievances against the management. All these will be handled by the manager and acts as an arbitrator in resolving all these disputes. Okay, and as a resource allocator, what does he do? As a resource allocator means manager has to negotiate with outsiders for taking certain decisions. The prices may be negotiated with suppliers, the rates may be fixed with customers, the purchase of various assets may be negotiated with manufacturers. He also deals with the trade unions on various issues. So, negotiator means as I said before, negotiator means he brings a treaty, or he brings a agreement, or he brings a compromising nature between two parties. So while doing this negotiation, he will manage the organization, he will manage the physical and human resources. Okay, he will mobilize and utilize efficiently uh, the people who are working with him for the accomplishment of predetermined objectives. And they have to play the role of allocation. Okay, okay, sorry, he has to um, spend considerable time for negotiation, because as a negotiator, a manager bargains with suppliers. So those are all the external environment people. Okay, so he has to bargain with suppliers, dealers, trade unions, and agents. Okay, so sometimes managers has to negotiate with other members of the organizations also, in order to reduce the disagreements between goals and roles. Okay, so whenever disagreement arises, negotiation comes into aspect. Okay, so as dispute arises in an organization, the managers has to take up the role of indicator, negotiator, or arbitrator, anything. Okay, so he plays all these roles. Next, by the above discussion, we can derive the concept of management. It deals with human relations, managerial functions, body of knowledge, leadership, decision making, productivity, integration, managerial, personal. Okay, so human relations means uh, every manager or every person working in the organization, with coordination and cohesiveness, they will work in order to achieve the organizational goals here. Okay. So at the same time, similarly, managerial functions, we see, I have said before, managerial functions are nothing but the planning, organizing, leading, controlling. Okay. So all these functions has to be performed. So and body of knowledge, that is a competence, skills, attitudes, values, all comes under body of knowledge. Leadership, okay, leadership skills should be there. And decision making, how to decisions were taken by the different levels of management, top level management, middle level management, lower level management, how the decisions were taken by each level of management in each stage. Okay. And how the productivity increases. Okay. And what is integration between the individual goals and the organizational goals. At the end of the day, both individual and the organization should be benefited. And managerial personnel is nothing but the communication and the commitment regarding the manager. As I said, the roles, different roles, all this belongs to the managerial personnel. So the concept regarding management is all the functions comes under the concept of management. Okay. The organizational characteristics comes under the management. And who is a manager, what is a manager do, what does the manager do, what is the importance of the manager. Okay. So all these are the important aspects. What were the skills of the manager? Okay. What are the roles of the manager? What were the different functions that were performed by the manager? All the stuff will be uh, studied under the concept of management.